Hi guys, what's up? This is Lars. I'd like to talk a bit to you about security on your router. Remember, your router is your first line of defense against any kind of cyber attack. When you get your router and and set it up right out of the box, your router is not really set up to be secure in any kind of way. You can lock it down, and in 4 kind of easy steps here, I'm going to show you how to lock it down a bit more than out of the box. This is no substitute from any kind of security on your machine, on your computer. Remember that. You need a good security software on your computer as well. But your router still needs to be secure. The first thing is that the router is out of the box supplied with a user called admin and a password like 1234, admin, or something relatively easy to find, and you can find it online anywhere, as long as you know the brand of the router, which is easy to find. So, in this case, the Netgear router, I want to change the password for the admin user. I go into Advanced, go into Administration, and I'm going to set password. Now, the only thing I need to know is the old password, which is written on the box. So I type in the old password here, and I type in a new password twice, like that. And the new password is set pretty easy. Now remember, make the new password hard to guess. That meaning you gotta use special signs, you gotta use letters in large font, large letters and capital letters and not capital letters, and special signs. So when you've done that, write it down on a piece of paper. Don't remember it. Write it down on a piece of paper and stick that piece of paper on your router. It doesn't really matter, because if anybody gets into your home and finds that piece of paper, they are either there by invitation or they're broken into your house, and in which case you've got a whole another kind of problem. Now, step number 1, secure the router by changing the admin password. If at all possible, change the admin user as well. On a Netgear router, that is not an option, unfortunately, but do change it. Now, next thing you got to do is secure your network. And you do that on this Netgear router by going to Setup and Wireless Setup. Now what you got here is you got your 2.4 gigahertz network and you got your 5 gigahertz network. It's got a default name. You should change that. Too many people are using the same network anyway. So change it to something you know, like my private network or something like that. And if you want to be extra secure, remove the SSID broadcast. That way you need to know the name of the network in order to connect to it. Once you've done that, you gotta set a password. Now again, out of the box, this Netgear router comes equipped with a password that is, well, easy to guess, basically. Again, you gotta change it. If it has no security, change it from none to WPA2PSK. That would be my choice. But you could do the other one as well, where you're going TKIP and AES as well. So anyway, choose one of them and make a difficult password for your network here. Use a mixture of numbers, characters, special characters. And again, write it down. Put it on your router. Nobody's going to see it. At least nobody you don't want to. So once you change that, do the same on your 5 gigahertz network. And if you got, like on this router, you actually got 2 gigahertz. Remember to change both the name and the password for all your networks. Having done that, if you have a router that comes with a guest network, like this one, you gotta change the parameters there as well. So again, set up guest network, and if you want a guest network, enable it. In this case, it's actually not enabled. But if it is enabled, if I were you, remove the SSID broadcast and give it a unique name. Again, my guest network. And remember, give it an encryption code, a passkey. And like I said before, make it difficult, make it long, and write it down. Right? Anybody sees it, that's supposed to be in your home, hopefully. And if not, again, whole other ball game here. Finally, the 4th step that I would recommend you to do is have a look at your firewall. Now, remember, the firewall in any router is kind of primitive. It's really not a substitute for good firewall software on your computer, but you can catch some of the bad guys here, like a ping attack. So you go into here again, setup, and in this case, WAN setup, which is where Netgear, they don't have an option here that's for a firewall. Some routers do have. Here, just go in and make sure that you don't respond to port scan. If I click on this one, it doesn't protect against port scan and DOS protection. So I don't want to touch that. I also don't want to respond to pings. If I check this one, my router will respond to a ping on the internet port, which is basically a way for anybody to find me on a port scan. So remove any kind of options here for them to attack you via ping, port scan, or DOS attacks. And if there is an option that says turn on firewall, remember to turn it on. Now, the last thing, these were the 4 steps that is vitally important for you to do on your router. There is actually one 5th step that I urge you to do. Update your router. Okay, this one here, if you look up here, has a firmware version. From time to time, go in there, check if it's got the newest one, and update it. Every time they find a vulnerability, they're going to update the firmware, and you'd want to update yours as well. You got to do this manually, but you got to do it. So get into the habit of checking this like once a month to see, is there a new firmware for my router? Okay, guys, this is all. Thank you for watching, and any comments, please leave them here on my channel. Bye bye.